Alright.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Racers Elite Network Xfinity Series tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas. Mile and a half oval here. The drivers ready to bring you guys the action as we kick off tonight's action here. This is race number 3 on the season. Quite a ways to go yet. Season's still early. Drivers out there getting in their final practice laps. Sean Piles here producing and on the microphone as well. Got Dakota LaRue next to me. Dakota, good to see you. Cameras once again brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Weather here looking like 73 degrees. Ambient air temperature 89% humidity. Partly cloudy, 1 mile an hour wind gusts. So not going to affect the play of the aerodynamics on the cars tonight. And 76 degree track temperature. One of the coolest ones I believe we've seen so far. Hot tracks seem to have been bringing some great racing action, but we're going to cool some stuff off here with Texas Motor Speedway under the lights here at night as the drivers getting ready to bring you that action. We're going to take a look at our point standings coming into tonight. Dakota, while we got a moment, do you need me to share anything, brother?
No, sir. I'm trying to get loaded in right now.
10-4. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get to the point standings coming into tonight's race. And little tidbit here, the team's names are out there to the right if you want to see them. Stephen Lachal right now leading the points with 89 and picking up last week's race win. As you see, that win column's got a tick out there for you for Lachal Racing. So one of a few drivers in that to bring that out. So Christopher Pendle currently second in points, 5 points back for Misfits with 84 points. Sean Dunaway in third for Chicken Coop Racing. As you see, there's a couple there, third and fourth. Those owner of the Chicken Coop Racing in fourth in points with the 81 points, Andrew Teft. So Sean Dunaway is in third, Andrew Teft fourth. Brandon Sanfilippo is fifth with 78 points. Kyle Hess is sixth with High Wide and Handsome Motorsports in sixth place, 76 points there. Lee Campbell seventh with 73 points for Misfits team. Brandon Biddy is eighth with 72 points. Biddy Family Racing. Dennis Kane is ninth with 68 points, Chicken Coop Racing. Hendricks Bromberg 10th with Runover Racing, 65 points. Russell Martin Jr. 11th. There's a tie there between him and Troy Thomas, the Nitrous Cowboy. And Kirby Wainscott also in that mix, so a tie between 3 different teams for that 11th spot. Hopefully get that settled out tonight. So 11th, 12th, 13th positions battled there. Bill Hagan is 14th with 62 points. 15th is Barry Nelson with 57 points. Terry Fennell is 16th with 55 points. Truth Hoke is 17th with 50 points. Jonathan Stidham is 18th with 37 points. Curtis Ecker is 19th with 34 points. Running out your top 20 is Dana Rahm with 26 points. So we just cover the top 20 each week, but things getting ready to kick off here in qualifying action. We'll take a look and see what the practice results look like here. We can go ahead and pop that up on the board to see Andrew Teft on top of the board as usual, 29.921 second lap time. So we'll see how that goes here as qualifying underway. And we'll see where these drivers are at in qualifying trim. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Racers Elite Network. We hope you all have a great time here tonight. And we're going to kick off things here, qualifying underway. And we got our first couple lap times. We got drivers out there on the speedway right now. Let's get some cameras on some race cars. How's that sound? Looks like Dennis Kane, the number 4 sponsored Ford out there right now. Working on an out lap. I'm going to put down that lap is complete. Kyle Hess, 30.688 quick time right off the get-go here. He's the first driver to put a lap time down this. Let's see if he gets any better. Dennis Kane, the 4 that we were watching, he's got quick time in that number 4 Ford. 30.569 second lap. And we are far away from the cars here. Could be just me. Maybe not. Oh, okay, it's just me. I forgot. Okay. We are good. So Dennis Kane out there in the 4 car. That's quick time. Kyle Hess takes it back momentarily with a 30.414 second lap. Dennis Kane, quick time again, 30.390. Battle for the top of the board. Kyle Hess's run will come to a stop, though he is currently P2. We got the Nitrous Cowboy out there, Troy Thomas, the Thomas 3D Printing and Engraving sponsored number 88. Right as he comes across the stripe, he'll post his first lap time. See if it clicks in here. That was a out lap, so next driver across maybe the 9 of James Foster. It's the 8 of Curtis Ecker, 30.547 third quick on his first lap. And now currently riding along with James Foster on the 9, watching him do his qualifying lap here is Troy Thomas goes 30.458. That's good enough for a third place currently. Brandon Sanfilippo, personal best 30.593. That's fifth quick on the board right now. Curtis Ecker going to go quick time 30.221. We'll see if that lap time stands. Remember, Andrew Tuff did have the fastest lap in practice, and it was faster than that. And here he is currently out there right now in that Racers Elite Network number 98 Ford. See him currently on the screen.
That,
go ahead.
Number 9 car's paint scheme looks really good under the lights here. That Rick and Morty style paint.
Sure does. It's a little wild. I was looking like, man, that thing is all over the place, but it looks great. 30.235, lap 1 for the 98 of Andrew Tuft. Almost good enough to take over the top spot. We'll see if he can get it on his second lap, as that number 9 looks fantastic. It's right. We had jumped across the stream there. It's back on the 98 of Tuft. But, man, Brandon Sanfilippo, 30.405, good enough for fourth quick. I'm going to shut the action alert off for right now.
Well, there goes Tiff to the pole.
Andrew Tuff, quick time, 30.072 second lap. What a time for Andrew Tuff, faster. So 29 in the practice, but a great time for Andrew Tuff there.
Yeah, 0.2 faster than the rest of the field almost. I mean, that's quite a gap there.
Yeah, Steve Sizemore, 30.205 on the board. There. Andrew Tuff, 30.072 is quick time. Last time on the board, Steve Sizemore, 30.205. We're waiting another lap time here, and don't look like he's going to get that one. Truth Oak in the 55 out there now. Looks like he's going to cross the stripe. He's going to have a time posted 8th, quick 30.561 for his first lap.
Truth Oak rocking a new paint scheme tonight, I believe.
David Allen Co.
Sponsored machine.
Can't go wrong with that one. Trading paint special. That's pretty. 30.148. Good enough for second quick for Truth Oak.
And the way he come off of 4, I think if it looked like he got a little loose. If he'd been able to contain that, he might have actually been able to go around for the pole there.
Yeah, there's definitely potential there altogether. It's that was one heck of a heater lap. Hendrix Bromberg out there posted a lap time down as well.
Yeah, 30.19 from the Lexo, good enough for third.
That Red Bull sponsored 17.
On the track. Bill Hagan completing his second lap. Able to better it a little bit, but still going to be starting P12 as of right now. Lee Campbell out on the track to do his qualifying attempt, and Stephen Luttrell here at the moment.
Stephen Luttrell, 10th. Yep, 10th quick with a 30.414. Quick time, Brandon Biddy. Biddy Family Racing, 30.032 for the 22 of Brandon Biddy, thecarshop.com 22. What a lap for that Ford.
It's looking like second lap's the best lap for these guys out here. So we're waiting on a couple of people to get through.
Stephen Luttrell in the antisocial Toyota Supra goes quick time 29.979 seconds. What a lap for that 36 antisocial Toyota Supra. The 60 of Lee Campbell out there as well, 30.440 is his best lap, so he will qualify 12th quick in the number 60. And looks like 2 minutes and 21 seconds left.
Well, it looks about like 7 people are not going to qualify or have attempted to qualify and had some form of an X, I would assume. Because I believe the 9 car was out there a little bit earlier.
Yeah, James Foster got a scrutiny penalty, I'd imagine. From what I can see here. Yeah, black flag for pits. Wayne Scott didn't come out. It looks like a little downtime during qualifying. So go ahead and get one of our I'm gonna highlight a little something here. In the meantime, kill a little bit of time anyway.
Are you hungry? We have the cure.
We talk about the race a little bit as well. I mean, I believe we're gonna have about 32 laps.
And calzones. We have flavored chicken wings and other fried menu things. We have something for everyone. We also have beverages for those over 21. Enjoy a cold alcoholic beverage today. Are you hungry? We have the cure. Matt's Pizza Shop, 402 Church Street, Newburgh, West Virginia. Dine in or take out, open Wednesday through Sunday, hours vary.
And we've been having a lot of flag-to-flag races here, but I feel like this is a tougher track to pull away from people. You know, it's not necessarily super draft heavy, but it is draft intensive. So, but the tire wear does matter here. So it's going to be a battle of attrition who can save the most tire.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Luttrell, last week's race winner, going to pick up the pole for qualifying here at Texas. So from what we're seeing here. So that's cool.
Definitely some good points for him there. He definitely could take that. All right, 3 seconds left to qualify, and I don't believe anyone else is going to come out. So it's time to start this race up and get going.
.979, the fastest time of the day for qualifying effort. And we'll get ready to do our starting lineup with all 21 drivers that we have here to start today's race. Let's see here. Alrighty, fans, witness the field of cars before us. These aren't just drivers. They are adrenaline junkies destined for the podium. The tension is breaking, the green flag is waiting, and history is about to be written in 3, 2, 1. Introducing the starting lineup for today's main event. Starting on the inside of the front row, on the pole is going to be Stephen Luttrell on the 36. To his outside, the 22, CarShop.com sponsored driver Brandon Biddy. Inside of row number 2, starting in the third spot, the Races Elite sponsored 98 is Andrew Teff. To his outside, the Hello Kitty sponsored 01 is Sean Dunaway. He'll start P4. Inside of row number 3, in the fifth starting spot, is the 55 of Truth Hope, the AC Delco sponsored ride. To his outside, Hendrix Bromberg in the number 17 America T sponsored P6. Starting inside of row number 4 in the seventh spot is the 08 of Steve Sizemore. To his outside, P8 is the 8 of Curtis Ecker. Starting inside of row number 5 in the ninth spot is going to be the number 4 of Dennis Kane. To his outside, Brandon Sanfilippo. And the number 12 will start P10. Rolling back now, position number 11 inside of row number 6 is Kyle Hess, the 86. To his outside, the Goodyear sponsored 60 of Lee Campbell will start P12. Looking inside of row number 7 in the 13th starting spot is the 88 of Troy Thomas. Is outside, the Lowe's sponsored 48 of Bill Hagan will start P14. Inside of row number 8 in the 15th starting spot is the Races Elite number 10 of Kirby Wainscott. To his outside, Jonathan Sidham in the 42 will start P16. Inside of row number 9 in the 17th starting spot is the Celsius sponsored 94 Christopher Pendle. To his outside, the 50 Grizzly sponsored ride is Terry Fennell. Starting inside of row number 10 in the 19th starting spot is Russ Martin Jr. in the 91. To his outside will be James Foster Sr. in the number 9. He'll start P20. Starting tailback on the field in the Lonesome Road, number 11 and 21st starting spot is the Levi Garrett sponsored 96 of Barry Nelson. That is your starting lineup as we await the green flag here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Dakota, what do you think?
Green, green, green.
I think we're in for some good racing here as we're going to the green flag. Steven Luttrell out to a pretty good jump there. Outside line kind of falling back. Andrew Teft able to get clear of the outside line. Steven Luttrell going to arc his corner in, get a pretty good run going through 1 and 2. But the 22 starting to surge, getting loose. Oh, Sean Dunaway around.
He's trying to hang on. They're trying to hang on. We're going to have a big wreck back there. Yep, first caution of the flag coming out tonight. A lot of drivers involved in this one. We'll take a look at it here on the instant replay momentarily. There it is.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, you know, the track's a little cooler than it normally is, and that is going to allow for a little bit more slippage here. As
holy Troy Thomas! Holy wow! Sorry, that was we're gonna go back and look at that again. A lot of incidents. Here's San Filippo's involved. Thomas is up the racetrack, but he gets clobbered by the 91. Russ Martin Jr. And Troy flip counts up to like 6 already. He's barrel rolled that thing down the back straightaway. And parking lot ensued. Some of these drivers stopped to avoid contact with others. Is Barry Nelson trying to avoid it in the 96. And it was almost inevitable there, as he was able to get that around with multiple drivers with meatball flags. Looks like Bill Hagan got damaged. Brandon Sanfilippo, Kirby Wayne Scott, Troy Thomas. Obviously, I don't know how he's driving that thing away. And Russ Martin Jr. also flagged there as well. So attrition on the first lap here. It'll be interesting here to see how the drivers adjust to the incident happening on lap number 1. Wow. So first caution underway, and a lot of stuff happened already. Dakota.
Yeah, it didn't take very long, and a lot of people having to use their one and only fast repair, so they're gonna have to be trying to be a little more careful throughout the rest of the race here.
Most definitely.
So looking at the YouTube chat here, we got Steven Luttrell fan club in the house.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to have them out here as they do each and every week. Glad to see you guys back, and hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. It's a pleasure to have you. So that opened up the door, and somebody got through that incident maybe unscathed is that number 9 Ford of James Foster. He was moved up 10 spots. He's up 11 spots. Barry Nelson was able to drag the brake and avoid the incident as well. It looked like he almost ended up getting into that at the end, but he's up 10 spots already from 21st to 11th. So.
Yeah, and speaking of Foster, fastest lap of the race so far, 56.35.
Drag the brake.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I mean, we're at the 1 to green now, and the drivers are ready to go back at this thing. They got to remember, though, the more cautions we have, the less laps they will get to actually race, as these laps do count towards the laps completed in today's race.
Could you imagine if they did NASCAR like the dirt races where they don't count the caution laps?
Well, yeah.
You know, imagine how long it would take.
LA Coliseum and Bowman Gray, that's all I got to say.
That race would never finish.
You guys, we're out of fuel. The fuel bill got expensive. We can't afford 2 races this week. Gotta pick one.
Right, pace car should be pulling off this time as Steven Luttrell going to be bringing this back to the green with Andrew Teft on his outside here. in the restart zone. Stephen Luttrell out to a pretty good jump. Is Truth Hook going to be able to get clear of Andrew Teft here? As Stephen Luttrell is going to go a little bit high and get a pretty good drive into one. And I got a feeling the outside line is going to be a little bit more cautious this time, as we've already seen the incident up there.
Yeah, that's very, very probable here as they come off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway into 3. And right now, your race leader, Stephen Luttrell, Truth Hook, Andrew Teft is locked in the 3rd spot for the time being. Steve Sizemore hangs on to the 4th position, beating Dennis Kane out off the restart. Curtis Ecker right now in 6th, Lee Campbell's 7th, Kyle Hess is 8th, 9th is John Stadium, and running at your top 10 is Barry Nelson. And that incident and having to use some of those fast repairs and seeing how fast that unfolded and how dangerous that incident got very, very quickly may have flipped a switch for some of these drivers to go into conservation mode already. Oh,
Yeah,
I stand corrected. Kyle Ecker's going to have to hang on, or Curtis Ecker's going to have to hang on to it in the 8 machine. He gets it straightened back out. He got a little bit of a love tap there from Lee Campbell to 60, but they were able to keep it going. We're almost 3 wide now for 8th, 9th, 9th, and 10th. That's going to single file back out.
Yeah, we call that the hornet's nest back here. Everyone's kind of all over the place, and I think we were 3 wide for a little bit between the 86 and 22 and the 94 there possibly.
Yeah, that's very possible. That was a wild area of the field, as they were definitely plaguing themselves a little bit.
So one thing I know about Texas is the inside line is preferred, but I'm pretty sure in 1 and 2 you can run a little bit higher sometimes to get a little more grip.
The question is do you do that with cold tires?
No, not particularly. Fun fact about Texas, turn 1 and 2 is different than turn 3 and 4. I'm not sure if a lot of people know that, to be honest.
A lot of racetracks are, and that's one of those deals where it's kind of common and not really mentioned. A lot of racetracks out there in the world in general. Every corner, whether it be a four corner racetrack or road courses, obviously can be different. There's no lines of symmetry between the corners, especially racetracks, unless it's a true oval, like an egg-shaped oval, or maybe like Indianapolis, maybe how it is.
Yeah.
But like one of the racetracks, for example, I race that in real life here in Markleysburg, Pennsylvania, at Roy Knob, going into turns 1 and 2 is uphill, and into 3 and 4 you got to backpedal because you're going downhill. So it is different in its own way.
And it can throw you off sometimes, because if you're racing real hard, you might be like, oh, I'm going into turn 1, it's turn 3. Because you're not fully paying attention, depending on what type of track it is. Obviously, it's pretty hard to get turn 1 mixed up with turn 3 in Texas, but just as an example.
Yeah, that's fortunately for us, we've got ways we label these and know where the cars are at all times. And later in this broadcast, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth because I'm going to tell you turn 2 is turn 4 and turn 4 is turn 2. So
It happens. But checking up on our leader here, Stephen Luttrell, out to about a 0.5 second gap. Truth Hook, almost 2 seconds ahead of 3rd place at the moment. So these two kind of pulling away, but we're going to have to see if Andrew Teft and the rest of the field's got some kind of a tire management advantage going on here or what, as we're only about 11 laps into this thing at the moment.
yeah, it's one of those deals here. It's going to be interesting to see how the race plays out. It's 105 laps, I believe, was the total distance, and drivers already working here. Lap number 12 of 105. It's going to go quick as they get rolling here. Stephen Luttrell looks like he's set out to an early lead here with almost a full second lead over Truth Hook, but Truth Hook not going to let him get out there too quickly here. And man, that 55 car is a sharp looking ride.
Yeah, and then I also want to bring up Kirby Wainscott, just passed, I believe, Bill Hagan and Terry Fields. That's going to put him up in the 13th in the past 2 laps here.
That's a good position battle there as he keeps moving that True Timber number 48. Man, that scheme changing sponsors. Because I saw Lowe's on that in the earlier in that little I think a Black Rifle Coffee Company on one side, Bass Pro on the hood. Good looking ride there.
Yeah, I believe last week it was Lowe's. So new paint scheme for him as well. Kyle Hess, easiest paint scheme to remember. He never changes it. It says Hess on it. Never get him wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can get it wrong. You just don't look at it. No, he's that's always good. It's relative. He's got it kind of lined out pretty well.
Which, don't get me wrong, I do like me some new paint schemes and such, but when a bunch of people change it one time, it makes it hard to keep up with sometimes.
Yeah, you see colors and cars and you know who they are, and all of a sudden, bam, we're just going to change this and throw you all out of whack. But Stephen Lachelle right now leading in the antisocial sponsored number 36 Toyota with a 1.2 second gap over the 55 of Truth Hoke. Oh, Truth Hoke just bashed the outside wall. That's going to hurt a little bit. He may have some wheel damage.
Man, it might be a little early to ask this, but do we think Luttrell's going to go back-to-back here?
You mean Tyler Reddick this thing? Maybe.
Wouldn't that be crazy if he just won 3 races in a row? We'd have to start calling him Reddick, right?
Yeah, that's right. We just have to get a hold of Andrew and tell him, hey, we got to put a nickname in. Stephen Luttrell is now the Reddick of Racers Elite.
Yeah, I guess all you got to do is sue NASCAR to start winning races is what I keep hearing.
Well, you missed the whole first step. You have to be a basketball star first.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Yeah, we ain't able to do all that. That's asking for a little bit too much icing on the cake and too much proof in the pudding.
You know, I thought Bubba Wallace was going to win a race at, what was it, Atlanta maybe?
Yeah, he was looking good there, and then he screwed the pooch. And
Tried to come up and block Carson Hocevar, and Carson just dropped it down to the inside, and he fell back after that.
I mean, Hocevar had nothing to lose. So I mean, he has nothing to lose in general. The guy's he wants to race. He wants to have fun. He wants to race hard. And you can't ask for anything other than that out of a racer.
Yeah, I feel like Hocevar is kind of like the new generation's Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, he's aggressive, and he intimidated Bubba Wallace to the point that Wallace took himself out. That's the block was given, and that was the end of that.
So, update on Truth Hoke. I did just hear over radio he does have a tidbit of damage here, so yeah, as you can tell, Andrew Tefta and the rest of the field is catching up to him, so that's going to put Stephen Luttrell 2 seconds ahead of the entire field at the moment, which is absolutely insane for Texas this early into a race.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's going to be interesting to see if Truth can bounce back from that little bit of damage. It's hard to get into the wall like that and use a fast repair to cover that damage, but he's got to figure out how to incorporate that damage repair into his pit stops throughout the rest of this race.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on how much damage he has realistically.
Well, one thing's for sure, the way that he's giving up positions right now, he's probably got a lot more than we'd ever want to have as well.
I imagine that car is really tight here at the moment, but let's check on YouTube chat. We got to go to San Filippo and let's go Sizemore. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. San Filippo's currently running P6, and I believe Sizemore is 3rd at the moment.
Yeah, we appreciate all our viewers out there, and yeah, I believe you are correct on that. Are they teammates? I don't think they are. They shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Let's take a look here at Steve Sizemore is driving for himself in that number 88 car. He's currently in the 3rd spot, but and who was the other one you said checked in?
I believe Brandon Sanfilippo in that 12 machine.
Sanfilippo in the 12 car. Currently running in the 6th spot, and he's driving Extreme Inc., but I think he's by himself tonight. So unfortunately for that, so he didn't have anybody to work with, but give you a little insight there on what we got going on. But Stephen Luttrell right now commanding fastest lap of the race right now belongs to the 08 of Steve Sizemore. Take that back. Truth Hoke is still showing speed with a little bit of damage. 30.218 is the best lap of the race, but last time by the best lap we're all in the 31s for the most part, except for a couple drivers that slipped in the 32s. The 651 by your race leader is the fastest lap. So it looks like Kyle has 31.607. Last time by was fastest. So.
Oh, we got a couple big movers here. We got Brandon Sanfilippo up 5 spots, Lee Campbell up 6, Christopher Pendle up 9 spots, and Barry Nelson up 11. Currently running P10.
Yeah, definitely some big movers there. As like you were saying there, it's great to have that up there. But man, we've had one leader since the drop of the green flag. It's been Stephen Luttrell for 23 laps. He's been out front.
Yeah, and granted, I mean, there was a little, kerfuffle behind him, we'll call it. But I mean, he pulled away there on that restart regardless, and he's continued to pull away since. Doing a phenomenal job. I'm just a little worried that he might burn his tires up here. But I mean, pit stops are right around the corner. About what, 10 more laps or so?
Yeah, they're looking
Probably.
somewhere around 10 to 12 laps for pit stops, and it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out when coming down. Hopefully, some green flag stops and getting the pit road here may be a little tricky. I had some issues in the Super Speedway Series last week getting the pit road at a. I think we were at Daytona, but somebody was pushing me and I couldn't get down and missed the commitment and went through the grass and get penalties, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. Anyway, so
Yeah, I think we caught that on the broadcast.
yeah, so that was a rough time. I didn't realize that I just couldn't slow down in time without pushing into the grass. So we'll see about I don't know if we'll be there this week. We'll see. Schedule's getting busy. Joey Thomas right now looks like he's moved up a spot. Maybe it was Kyle Hess got around Hendricks Bromberg back here for position number 15. I think Hendricks. I think he was looking at pit road, but he's not.
Ooh,
So.
something happened to Christopher Pendle. He just dropped like a fly. Oh,
He's having some technical difficulties, and his
his
car
radio
is
disconnected. That's what happened.
yeah.
Go with that one.
He's having some ignition problems with the distributor.
He let old Cletus get a hold of that thing. Go. Yeet.
Yep. So unfortunately, Christopher Pendle won the hauler for the time being. Maybe a bathroom break for Christopher Pendle. Maybe he forgot to suit up properly for the race today.
You ever seen that, what is it, Talladega Nights, where the man pulls over, goes and makes a phone call, gets the sandwich, and all that, says, I'll be back in a minute.
Mm-hmm. The classic Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, or the tortoise and the hare. Yeah, we'll look at Stephen Luttrell here, and he's going to go around the 9 of James Foster. Going to put him a lap down.
James Foster way off the pace at the moment. Not quite sure if he's got some kind of strategy going on or maybe got a little bit of damage there, but he's...
I'm not sure exactly what the case is with the 9 machine, but definitely not really a favored approach for the evening, but whatever he's got to do to stay with it. Good thing is it's still early. We got 77 laps remaining here in this race. But Andrew Teft is staying consistent here. He's 2.25 seconds behind your race leader, but he's not letting Stephen Luttrell actually get away completely. As they're running roughly, it's about a half a tenth of a second difference per lap that he's behind Stephen Luttrell. So there could be a potential tire saving, and it may, and here's another thing too that may play into this that may actually help out, and this is a very odd but working strategy. If Andrew's not running as hard as Stephen Luttrell is, when it comes down to coming to get fuel, he may not be in his box as long.
It is fair. So I'm on board with our last season champion, Sean Dunaway here, who I believe was involved in an incident earlier, completely missing his back bumper at the moment. And can I just tell you how loose these cars are without the back bumper on there, man?
Well,
He's doing a heck of a job keeping that thing just going straight.
he is trying to handle it. It's about the extent of that. He's trying to maintain. I'm gonna go on board here, like you said, and watch him drive that thing off the corner. We're going down the back straightaway into 3, and I think this is like that thing is. It sounds like he's trying not to skate it.
You know, I just got to think with that caution, we're probably going to be going to about lap 42, 43, not 30 something.
That's, I mean, but the question is, did anybody actually come in and take fuel? We know they came in, but did they come in? Did they top off? Did they come in? Did they take tires? What they got options. So, did they come in just to get damage fixed if they received something impartial to that incident?
Well, I mean, we did. Even the people that didn't come in, they didn't run a full lap, and then you also had the four. We didn't go back green till almost lap 5 there, so. Be able to save a little bit of fuel over that time.
I mean, not only that, but they could have maybe not used any at all. So.
Fair enough. It looks like Christopher Kendall's back on track.
So yeah, quick bathroom break, and he's back with us. So. Unfortunately, lap's down, but he's still here.
Well, I can't say he won't get back on the lead lap because, I mean, I've been in a league before where someone was 15 laps down and got back on the lead lap, but I'm finding it very hard for him, especially here at the Racers League. It's one of probably the cleaner leagues I get to broadcast here.
Yeah, been like 6 or 7 laps, especially. But look at how clean that 88 car of Troy Thomas looks after he barrel rolled multiple times after getting that faster pair.
Yeah, let's hope the Knox Cowboy don't go for another bull ride there, come down the backstretch though, because him not having a fast spray, he's gonna have to play it extra safe.
Yeah, a little bit. It's I don't know. I don't know how to lost for
From the
words
other
on that
day,
one.
he needs to get his wife on here to drive.
And what was the results of that?
He thought it's funny too.
He thought it was funny, huh? Did she think it was funny?
No idea. But Andrew Teft is actually starting to catch up to Luttrell here. So, might potentially have been saving tire. Might even be able to go a couple extra laps. Maybe even saving some fuel to try to stretch it out a little bit. Looks like Hendricks Bromberg coming down the pit lane. Curtis Ecker getting ready to come down the pit lane, sticking his hand out the window.
Hendricks Romberg is down, so actually Hendricks also had an issue coming to pit road, got a black flag, so too fast entering maybe, or unsafe pit entry.
That is possible. I believe 22 is pitted this time. Oh, Steve Luttrell in already. So Andrew Test's going to be able to get a lap lead here. It's going to give him an extra point. And it seems like he's sticking his hand out the window to bring it down this time.
Trying to move this. I should have done it before, but I wasn't telling. And, no, it's not interfering with the leaderboard. There we go. That's right. Andrew Teft also received a black flag there as well, so either you got a little speeding issue, I believe. On the pit
Hey,
road.
go check the backstretch. I think we got an otter back here, bud.
Oh man, 3 wide. That is wow, what a knocker there. Curtis Ecker was part of that. I don't know if it was for position or what was going on.
Brandon Sanfilippo might have just loaded it up on the haulers. I think he potentially ran out of fuel there.
He may be getting a tow to pit road too. Which is going to be a bummer for him.
Go right on board with him on the replay and see if I can find out if he ran out of fuel or just pulled off. I don't know. He most definitely ran out of fuel.
Multiple drivers coming down pit road getting their service here under green, and some drivers not making it that far and having to take alternate paths to get to pit road.
I believe the 48 car is out of fuel coming down the back, just trying to get into the pits. 88 should be pitting this time as well. So should be handing your race lead back over to Stephen Luttrell in that 36 machine.
And Bill Hagan has made his way to the pits. Looks like he's in there, but we'll see if he can make it to his box. Stephen Luttrell working on coming back around to take the race lead.
Yeah, with Andrew Teft and a couple other people getting some black flags, that's going to put Stephen Luttrell in a pretty good spot, as he's going to be up about 5.5 seconds over Sizemore, who should be taking over second place here.
Yeah, it's a bummer, you know, having to deal with that small situation that they've kind of put themselves in, but that's just part of the attrition that goes around here throughout the course of these events. You know, having to bounce back out of a hole.
And, you know, this race is starting to look like it did last week, man. We got to that first pit cycle and things just kind of got spread out. And after that, there's no cautions and relatively just cruising around the track.
Yeah, they're everything's kind of setting in its place here, and the driver's trying to get a little bit trying to get settled here for at least the next probably 40 laps, about till the next pit stop. And then it's going to go haywire again. But they're going to have to try it. Some of these drivers have to make up some ground, so it could flop. We could be in for a surprise.
And unfortunately for that 48 machine, I am pretty sure they had to come out there and push him to his pit box, so
yeah, that's
it cost a bit of time there.
Yeah, he's gonna be a little lot slower than he wished getting in and out of that box. Not good. We'll take a look at our movers and shakers here momentarily and see who our biggest movers are coming up through the field.
Truth Hope, who got in the wall a little bit earlier, had a little bit of damage, still running P3, so that's pretty good for him as well there. Going to be a pretty good points day for him if he's able to keep that up.
Yeah, fortunately he didn't lose too much on that little bit of damage that he got getting into the wall. That was a huge hit, so he's very fortunate in that case that nothing plaguing him there coming this far forward. But still quite a good bit to go in today's race.
It looks like Stephen Luttrell coming up on a lap car. They're going to let him go around the inside here.
Yeah,
Man, it
he's-
looks like we're about to have a little bit of a battle between Biddy and Kyle Hess here. As it looks like Kyle Hess had a pretty good run coming down the backstretch. He's going to take the outside, get to the outside of the 22 of Biddy here. It looks like the 42 of Jonathan Stidham going to try to follow him through there as Hess was able to complete the pass.
yeah, he was able to take that spot away, so it's fortunate for him. He's able to make that happen rolling forward here. So that'll move him into position number 8.
It looks like Stidham isn't very comfortable on that outside line, so just decided to stay behind Biddy here. Got a pretty good run coming into the corner. Had to check up a little bit.
We got 14 cars on the lead lap right now, so Terry Fennell, the first driver, a lap down in the 14th spot, but still a lot of drivers here yet to take over and maybe have a run here, good run here today. Maybe potentially take that lead and win away from Stephen Luttrell, but we'll have to see how it plays out here as the driver's sweeping off of that turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
And if I'm Stephen Luttrell right now, with me having like a 5.5 second lead, I'm probably going to be just chilling, not really pushing, saving a little bit of tire for the second part of this run here.
Yeah, it's especially having, almost, what was it, a 4-second advantage. You don't want to, 5.5 seconds. You don't want to over push, and have issues trying to stay ahead. He's got a great gap. He should be just kind of along for the ride right now, putting down good laps.
And I mean, if he does just kind of save his tires on the early part of the run, when it comes to the second half of the run, he's going to start pulling back away again anyway. So either or, both strategies can work. Keep pushing hard and continue pulling away early, or you can just save your tires and try to get a bigger gap late. But we are officially over halfway in this race here today.
You're halfway home and a lot of action yet to come your way as these drivers duking it out for tooth and nail every position that they can. So it's gonna be interesting here. Stephen Luttrell still holding at 5.5 seconds over Steve Sizemore's 0-8 sponsored ride.
Yeah, an interesting move from Jonathan Stidham here. I believe he's going to be pitting this next time by.
Well, that is interesting. We'll see how that plays out throughout the course of this coming closer to the end.
Potentially going to try to do a short pit, see if he's able to make up some time on the fresher tires here, but he's going to have to hope he can make up quite a bit of time on some of these guys in order to hold them off once they do decide to pit.
Yeah, and I was looking here at we got the 96 trying to get around the 0-8 of Steve Sizemore. So Barry Nelson trying, but was not successful that time.
I'll be danged. I think Stidham might have baited me there.
Didn't come to pit road, huh?
Nope. Stuck his hand out the window and everything.
That's a tough nail to bite on. But Luttrell's still out front, 6.5 seconds over Sizemore now. So Sizemore was dealing with the 96 of Barry Nelson.
That 96 got a pretty fast hot rod before he got trapped the lap down. I mean, he was absolutely moving up through the field, like I said, up 11 spots early in this thing.
Yeah, we'll take a look at those movers and shakers here. Let's see what we got. Biggest gainers here so far. Kirby Wayne Scott up 10 spots, currently in 5th. Russ Martin Jr. up 8 spots, currently 11th. Jonathan Stidham up 7 spots, currently 9th. Steve Sizemore up 5 spots, currently 2nd. And Dennis Kane up 5 spots, currently 4th. Lap leaders today, Stephen Luttrell has led 55 laps, currently a race leader, and he is kind of setting that trend. He's in that pattern that we saw last week, where he led all those laps. As James Foster Sr. now coming down pit road in that number 9, as Andrew Teft also has led a lap today, currently in 14th. Kirby Wayne Scott's led a lap, currently in 5th, and Troy Thomas led a lap, currently 10th, and Brandon Sanfilippo currently 21st, led a lap as well. So those are your lap leaders currently coming up to this point in the race.
And I do believe Christopher Pendle and Brandon Sanfilippo have loaded it up on the hauler, having a little bit of transmission issues there. Unfortunate for them, so that's going to cost them quite a bit of points here, but still a little bit of a long season to go, so they got time to make it up.
Yeah, we'll see. It's there's always that dreaded yellow flag too that could potentially come out and bring Stephen Luttrell's race back into the grasp of the rest of the field. At least the back to what we call 13th. Now Sean Dunaway is now fighting to stay on the lead lap in that 0-1 sponsored ride. As you can see, Stephen Luttrell not even a full straightaway behind him.
And Sean Dunaway was able to get some of that damage repaired, but still a little bit off pace. Might have pit a little sooner than everyone else there.
Yeah, Stephen Luttrell trying to find his way through it here. We'll take a brief commercial break here. Just over the halfway point. Be back in just about a minute.
Does your heart pump nitro? Do you like to put your ride to the test? Well, then you're our kind of driver. The performance oils, lubricants, and industrial fluids from Nitro Lubricants help you get the most from your vehicle's engine. And our line of appearance products will keep your vehicle looking as smooth as it runs. If you want extreme performance, it's nitro or nothing. Shop our products at nitrolubricants.com. Nitro Lubricants, extreme performance.
Alright, little sponsor input there, but man, they having a great race out front. Stephen Luttrell is just the highlight of the show right now. He's done everything right today so far. There's 41 laps to go, and the only thing he's got to worry about is making clean lap car passes and not getting that dreaded pit road speeding penalty.
Yeah, and we've had a couple people come to the pits a little early, as I believe the fuel range is about 37 laps here, so the pit road should be technically opening within the next 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah, Johnson Stidham also black flagged there on lap 63. 3 laps ago, as he's already came in and had that cleared, so I guess it's kind of plaguing everybody tonight. This pit road's a little tricky for these drivers to manage tonight with 39 laps remaining here at Texas.
That or the Stewarts are just not being given any leniency today.
Hey, don't pick on Chantal like that. She's my friend. She penalizes me. I like it when she gets that black flag out. I know we don't like to see it, but she doesn't like to use it, but she tries not to, but she makes sure she does it fairly. I'll give her that. She's very, what's the word, consistent in her calls, and the rule book is in black and white when she's up in the steward box.
Hey, I mean, people might not agree with it, but the rules are the rules. I race in the league on Sundays. They don't clear black flags for anything. If you get wrecked down on the pit road, they don't clear it. It's the same for everybody. I've complained about it. Everyone else has complained about it. But the man it's in the rule book, and he sticks to the rules. So, as long as he does it to everybody, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yep. And we may not like it, we may not agree, but that's how it's going to be, and that's what they saw, so that's what it is.
Rules are the rules, right?
That's right. And black and white on the monitor of the admin. So, what they see is what they say goes. It may not look like it on your end, but hey. You ain't got no control over it, no say. You can argue it all day, but it is what it is at the end of the day, and it's what you can do with. And we got a couple cars on the hauler right now, and Jonathan Stidham became one of those in the 42. Christopher Pendle has succumbed to his issues, and Brandon Sanfilippo in the 12 is also still out of this event.
Yeah, only got about 12 drivers on the lead lap right now, which granted a couple of them are due to coming down the pit road here recently. Stephen Luttrell out to almost a 7.5 second gap, so picked up about seconds here on Steve Sizemore, potentially doing that strategy I was talking about saving tires early, as he is still trying to get around Sean Dunaway, who is not making it easy.
Yeah, Sean Dunaway finally succumbed to Stephen Luttrell getting around him. He's going to get a lap down. He'll be the first car lap down, but not for long. As right now your race leader setting his sights on the 22 of Brandon Biddy, and he's going to make that easy for him. And you have to watch here because he's also going to be the first car to lead lap if the caution comes out. And I thought he was going to slip, as here comes Sean Dunaway coming up in the 0-1.
Yeah, it looks like that ain't machine in pit road this time as well. So, as the pit window is technically officially open here.
Yeah, that's going to open up some more moves here for Stephen Luttrell to put more drivers' laps down before he makes his pit stop. And I don't know if I'd come in and he's probably got to take right sides. Tires got to be hurting a little bit, but he's been able to kind of smooth the roll of this race all the way from that first caution all the way up to this point. So he's running 31.978 second lap last time by, and that was a little bit quicker. So I don't know. He definitely didn't have to take tires, right sides at least, but I think I'd do right sides and fuel and try to maintain that lead out front in case this thing does not have any more cautions.
That is fair, but at the same time, I mean, he's got almost an 8-second gap to Sizemore. The time it's going to take him to put 4 tires on there, even if Sizemore takes 2, I mean, he's still going to be in front of him.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it also depends on when Sizemore decides to come to pit road. He may try to short pit this and make up ground why Luttrell's on pit road.
That is a very fair point. It does look like Dennis Kane and that 4 machine going to be coming down this time.
And he is pulling in here. We'll see. He's able to get down and lock it up. He almost went around getting across the line. Did he get that the dreaded penalty? Does not look like it.
And we've had 2 or 3 guys run out of fuel. We've had people spinning, and still the caution has not come out.
We've had some fantastic saves throughout the course of this race. You are right. Just short of coming to the coming off of that caution flag section, we had drivers get loose and they were able to keep it going. That was a wild lap coming back to green when that happened.
Yeah, Stephen Luttrell getting ready to pit as well. And speaking of that first caution, I mean, heck, they almost saved it during that too. I mean, it was pretty close, but I just think this cold track caught a couple of people off guard here.
Yeah, the chain reaction going back to the field definitely caught a few drivers off kilter. And fortunately, Truth Hook is still with us in that 55. And Troy Thomas as well, who is currently in the 6th spot after barrel rolling down the back straightaway. So his crew chief definitely happy with their performance today so far, as Kyle Hess also comes to pit road.
Yeah, it looks like Steve Sizemore going to be coming around and pitting next time by. So let's keep a check on Luttrell here. The right sides are up. Looks like he's going to be taking the left sides as well.
Did Sizemore make the right move? Will he have the race lead when he comes off of pit road?
I'm going to keep a check on him while he's in pit to see if he takes 2 here, as I think it's going to have to be a strategy to potentially gain some ground on
Kirby Wayne's got new race leader.
Yeah. Gain some ground on your leader.
Yeah, Troy Thomas will take over the 2nd spot momentarily. I imagine they'll probably pit next time by. As let's see, where is Stephen Luttrell is off of turn number 4, and
Sizemore is taking 4.
Yep, so he's coming off of pit road, but he will not have his speed built up yet, so he's gonna have to run down. Okay, now he's past the line. Get on it. It's time to go. Don't spin the tires. Keep it under you. Do not mess up and get on the racing surface here. Is now Luttrell halfway down the back straightaway is your prior race leader, is Steve Sizemore, currently back in about the 6th spot. So working his way down the back straightaway. I'll tell you what, Luttrell has gapped that back out once again to about the same. So I'm not going to make up much of that cycle.
He had such a lead whenever he pit, he didn't even go a lap down.
And that's good, as Wayne Scott now to pit road. Go ahead and lead over to Troy Thomas, if he so wishes to do so, as he looks to be going to.
Now, you definitely take that extra bonus point, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, everything counts. It's early in the season. You gotta have them right now. This is when it counts. This is when it hurts not to have them. I mean, you got to get them late in the season too. But this is the set for the season. You have to pick those bonus points up now. It's crucial.
All right, looking at YouTube chat. Sorry, real life called. Had to back out. Was running ninth. I'm happy with the run I had going. I believe this would be Pendle or Sanfilippo. And then we got William Luttrell saying, "Don't jinx him." Fair enough. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, absolutely dominant performance out of the Luttrell group here. So I know the Luttrell fans at home are definitely happy.
You're waiting on the 88 of Troy Thomas to come to pit road, as he is leading right now by 13 seconds. So a great lead, but he's got to be coming up on the pit stop.
And run over racing, real life, when stuff pops up at the end of the day, take care of what you got to take care of.
Yeah, that's Jonathan.
Stidham.
Stidham. Yeah, that's Jonathan Stidham there. Yep. I know that one.
My bad, brother, my bad.
Terry Fennell and Barry Nelson both to pit road now for their stops. Troy Thomas still waiting him to come to pit road, and I believe he's going to do so now as he drops down. That's going to hand the lead back over to the 36 of Stephen Luttrell as he rounds turn number 3. So he'll come around and take the lead from Troy Thomas, and that'll be another lead change. He'll go back to the front of the pack with a 6. Well, I mean, Steve did gain a little bit, 6.1 second advantage over Steve Sizemore, who will regain the second position here as he rounds turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if Luttrell's doing the same strategy as last time, just saving his tires early here. That way, if Sizemore is able to catch up to him, he'll have the tire advantage.
Yeah, most definitely. 24 laps to go. He's gotta save some. I mean, Sizemore's reeling him in. He's got to make him drive harder. You can play mind games when you got such a drastic lead. I mean, it's not a huge lead, but it's big enough that any kind of mistake wouldn't warrant something. If he missed a line and drove to the middle or something, yeah, he missed
not to be that guy. He says it's not a huge lead, as you could probably fit 10 buses between him and Sizemore here.
No, the problem is any mistake on the racetrack is really crucial.
That is very true, and a caution could still come out at any time and shake this entire race up.
Yeah, a 6-second lead and a little bit of damage, as we saw earlier, like Sean Dunaway had, or even Andrew Tepp
as well. He was up to 3 seconds over third place. He got a little bit of damage.
Right, yeah, and anything inevitable damage could cause issues and slow them down and break their pace.
So 9 cars on the lead lap as things sit right now. Troy Thomas, the Nitrous Cowboy, and the 88 machine would be your lucky dog if a caution was to come out.
In 21 laps to go, anything is possible.
And it just goes to show that practicing the pit road entry is a major part of practicing for races here. Is a lot of the people today, not saying they didn't practice, caught with some black flags, speeding, or just some unfortunate incident going into pits that's gave them a black flag.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out here. That's changing things up here a little bit. Get your full field rundown up there across the screen. Get an idea where everybody is. And a couple of drivers are multiple laps down. Ray Nelson 2 laps down. Hagen's also a couple laps down. Fortunately, Foster's 5 laps down, and I believe still with us. Yep, he's on pit road right now in the number 9.
That is one thing I can say about Foster. I don't think the man ever gives up. I don't think he has give up in his blood.
And he might not.
And it more times than not, it actually pays off. Ends up gaining more spots just staying on the track.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take away from that too. If you can show up and stay on the racetrack and put on a show, and you also get some seat time and you get experience in the cars. And it helps with the more challenging racetracks. The more that you learn throughout the course of an event, whether you show up and race, you go like 5, 6, 7 laps down. Yeah, a lot of guys quit because they go, well, I don't want to ruin somebody else's race. I don't want to be the problem that takes somebody else out of contention because I know I'm not skilled enough to do that. But the way you gain that skill is you stay on the racetrack and you drive through your issues, and you learn how to drive through those things, how to change throughout the course of the event, whether it be a braking point or how you apex the corner, where you enter at, where you pick your throttle back up at. You learn the tire wear, of what you can do and what you can't get away with. Turn into an experimental practice session for yourself, but also be mindful when other racers get around you. Welcome to Racers Elite Network coaching session of the night.
I had a race, I believe, yesterday at Long Beach in the trucks. I was running a top 10 all race. Ended up getting into the wall a little bit. Had someone trying to pass me. They got in my bumper, spun me out, put me back into the wall. So I had about 10 minutes of damage in here. I was sitting there like, you know what? I'm just going to leave. Well, I was sitting there for a couple of minutes. I got some of my damage fixes. Like, you know what? There's not that many laps left. Let me just go out here and just run really slow around the track. Ended up keeping the 14th place. I mean,
You got something else too. You gotta look at your points situation too. Maybe you're just not. Maybe that track just plagues you. Maybe that's your Achilles heel of the season, and you get back out there and the next night or the next week you run top 5. You hit a track that you're all right at, and then you got better tracks coming. You take the good with the bad, and hopefully the end of your season comes up. Maybe the fact you stuck it out could be that 1 to 2 positions more in points that you needed to get that extra kickback.
that is very true, but Sizemore was gaining on Latrell there. It looks like it kind of stalled out at about 5.2 seconds here. And Latrell kind of looked a little loose coming out of 4 last time. Almost looked like he almost hit the wall, but he does have the 88 trying to get a lap back and get around him here.
Yeah, Nitrous Cowboy fresh off of a pit stop too. And that 88, he put it on lap 81, and we're currently working lap 92, so 11 laps, newer tires. He's gonna have a little more speed and potential. So Steven Latrell had to give up a little bit of track position there to Steve Sizemore to allow the 88 to get by, because the 88 took the optimal line to get around him, and that rode him into about 4.8 seconds for Steve Sizemore. So as long as they don't have too many more of those going, that antisocial from number 36, that's kind of a little fitting. The antisocial sponsored 36 car out front by 4, almost 5-second gap. So he's out there by himself. If that don't say antisocial, I don't know what does.
In the fighting world, they say the quietest people are the ones you got to watch out for. So maybe the same applies for the race world here.
Yeah, it may be. He's definitely working on something.
He's got something figured out the past 2 weeks. He's been absolutely dominant. I mean, if he can keep this up, definitely going to have a good shot to win the championship this season.
He's just going to have to watch that they don't make too many changes over the next week, because we do have an iRacing update coming, so we'll see what happens. Let's see if they change these cars any.
Yeah, I know they're releasing the Dodge Ram. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, the Ram fans are definitely going to come out in this one. We'll see how big in numbers they come. That's all the painters, paint shops across iRacing going to get busy here with the templates. So we'll see.
Well, 10 to go as the lead across the line this time. So just 10 more laps, no mistakes, and Steven Latrell going to be your race winner here as Penny Guinea cautions. Steve Sizemore sitting pretty comfortably in second as well, so it does look like we might have a little bit of a battle for third, as there's only about a 1.5-second gap there.
Yeah, that's about a 1.5-second gap. It's Curtis Ecker and trying to reel in Steve Sizemore there.
Well, I thought Dennis Kane was catching up to Eckert. It looks like Wayne Scott just got around here, and that did check them up a little bit, making it about a 2-second gap now. So Kirby Wayne Scott are going to really have to put the throttle down, try to get this podium finish here.
Yeah, it's it might be a little bit of a barn burner here. If they got anything left, they're going to have to show it now, so we'll see if they're able to do anything with that. Take a look at our lap leaders again here and see. We think we've gained one. I think Steve Sizemore added his name to the list for that pit stop, so that'll add him to our list here of leaders today. So 7 different lap leaders, and biggest gainers, Kirby Wayne Scott up 11 spots to the 4th position. Russ Martin Jr. up 8 spots to the 11th spot. Barry Nelson up 6 spots to 15th. Steve Sizemore up 5 spots to 2nd. Curtis Ecker up 5 spots to the 3rd spot. So that's how that plays out so far. So things winding down here with 7 laps to go. Stephen Luttrell out front. And, you know, we've had some drivers with some tough luck today. Jonathan Stidham, Christopher Pendle, and Brandon Sanfilippo of that trio. Those are the 3 stooges of the day with the worst luck. James Foster, multiple laps down. Back in position number 18. 17th, 48 of Bill Hagan. 16th, Terry Fennell. 15th, Barry Nelson. 14th, Hendricks Bromberg. 13th, Brandon Brady. 12th, Andrew Tuft. 11th, Russell Martin Jr. 10th, Troy Thomas. Is Thomas the first car on the lead lap?
Yeah, it seems like Stephen Luttrell might have started putting the pedal down to the metal a little bit again. It's just only 5 to go this time as he crosses the line. He's already picked up a 2nd over Sizemore.
Yeah, we gotta give credit to the Nitrous Cowboy Troy Thomas. He got his lap back the hard way, and is on the lead lap. So that's awesome to see that's still able to be done here, especially in a race like this.
Speaking of which, he just made a pass to get around Sean Dunaway.
Yeah, that late pit stop strategy working for him, and he's potentially trying to fight his way forward here late in the race.
Man, just to think you could flip a car about 10 times and still, you know, finish top 10 in a race. I believe he's the one that flipped earlier, am I correct?
Yeah, he is. Correct. Barrel rolled at that.
Three to go. The leader crosses the line this time. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It happens. Natural. So far, working lap 103 of 105. Stephen Luttrell, your current race leader. 1 caution for 3 laps and 10 lead changes yet today. So that's things are rolling along here. Let's see if I can get the humidity 95% right now. 68-degree temperature. And the wind has calmed down here over the course of the race as we come to 2 to go for your race leader, Stephen Luttrell. As he crosses here, as he's I think Troy Thomas is going to stall out in the 9th position at 88, but the antisocial number 36 sponsored Toyota of Stephen Luttrell works down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. He will look to go back to back here. We'll see. He's got 1 more lap to go off of for this time. To the tri-oval, the white flag is in the air, and we have the 1 to go signal being shown from the starter stand.
And you know he's got to be happy to see that, as there is no chance of a caution coming out at this point. So he's just got to kind of cruise to the finish here, as he has a pretty commanding lead. But there is, I thought Kirby Wayne Scott might be able to catch up to Curtis Ecker there. It looks like Curtis Ecker going to hold strong on that 3rd place.
Yeah, looks like he's catching him, but it ain't going to be enough as they exit turn number 4 across the tri-oval, keeps it off the wall. We are clean to the line. Checkered flag your race winner, Stephen Luttrell.
Back-to-back race winner here on the Racers Elite Wednesday Xfinity Series.
Yep, that's 2 in a row for him. We'll look for more as the drivers find their way off of turn number 4, crossing the line. A couple more drivers lock in. We'll look at our full field rundown here momentarily. Well, at the end of this, we'll look at it, I should say. We'll talk with our top 3. Curtis Ecker, Steve Sizemore, and Stephen Luttrell coming up here very shortly. Let's see if we can get our third place finisher, Curtis Ecker, up here. Curtis, Ron, and Dakota here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy.
I got you.
Okay, I mean, a fantastic run for you. You started back in the 8th position. It wasn't the win that everybody's looking for, but man, a solid run. You stayed on the lead lap. Good positive note for tonight, and able to come home with a 3rd place finish at number 8 Chevrolet. Tell us about the run from your shoes. What was your key points to picking up a podium tonight?
Yeah, my goal is just to keep it clean the whole race and try not to make them critical errors, especially on an off-pit road, which is really easy to do here. I had a really good long-run car, like coming about 25, 30 laps into a run. I feel like that's the best my car would handle.
I guess, yeah, good long run speed was definitely a good key to that, to put that number 8 in a podium position here at Texas. A good points night for you to come up with, and I'll tell you what, it was great to watch you from the booth get the number 8 Chevy to 3rd place.
Thank you guys.
Dakota, you got any questions for Curtis?
No, sir. Just congratulations on the P3 finish. Is anyone I want to thank or shout out for helping you get the job done tonight?
Of course, my business, Family Traditions RV Rentals. You guys up here in the booth do an amazing job every week, and everybody who helps put on these amazing shows at Racers Elite.
Thank you. Congratulations on a P3 finish, and next week we'll see if you can pick up the race win and maybe keep Steven from getting. We're getting in a trim now where we're about to start calling Latrell Tyler Reddick. So we'll see if we can do that next week.
We'll see.
Congratulations on P3.
Thank you.
Alright, Curtis Ecker picking up the 3rd spot, and we'll go now down to Dakota, who I believe has Steve Sizemore in the 2nd position.
Hey,
Well,
Steve,
hello.
it's Dakota. Run up in the booth. Got a copy?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Congratulations on P2 first off, and I mean, what a little bit of a ride it was for you today. I believe you had somewhat of an issue early. It seemed like you kind of fell back, and then you got up in that 2nd spot, and you just stayed there. Walk us through how your race went.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't raced this track many times, so I was kind of cautious on that first run, and then we got tires that 2nd run. I just felt like I was a lot more confident, I guess. But I never could make no ground on Steven there though. He was flying.
Yeah,
Seemed like every time I got behind lap cars, I got really tight. Caused me to burn the tires off a little bit faster, I think.
yeah, these cars are bad with dirty air to get real tight. Is there anything you would go back and do differently to try to have a better shot at Steven Latrell here?
I don't think there is much I could do any different there. Maybe get a better start on that first run. But like I said, I didn't want to cause any accidents. We just kind of wanted to get comfortable with the car and the track. And I'll take a P2. It was a good race. No cautions. I mean, these guys are racers in this league, man. They're really good.
Yes, sir. Ron, you got any questions for him?
No, just congrats on your runner-up finisher today, and going from 7th to 2nd there, man. It's a stellar effort to move forward, and a good night for points for the number 08 Chevrolet.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Is there anyone want to thank or shout out for we send you out?
Andrew again, you guys for broadcasting these for us. And just everybody that tunes in and watches, man. These are some good races you guys put on. And I enjoy being a part of it.
That is for sure. This is one of the best leagues I've been able to broadcast, some of the cleanest racing, and they can get aggressive at times and still be relatively clean.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, man, again, congratulations on your P2, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, that was Steve Sizemore on the 08 machine. Ron, you ready to bring in our leader here?
Yep, sure are.
Or race winner? All right, take it away.
Alrighty, got Steven Latrell here in the booth. Ron and Dakota, you got a copy, brother?
I do. What's going on?
Not much, buddy. Congratulations, back-to-back, picking up the race win, the antisocial number 36, sponsored Toyota. A fantastic run, man. You came out, you set the pace in qualifying, and I would say you swept the night, but you let Andrew have that quick time in practice. But hey, you got to hold back a little bit. You can't show everybody what you got before the race comes around, because then they try to figure it out.
Yeah, I get into practice pretty late, and there's already a lot of rubber on the track, and but I've got a lot of laps around Texas here in the last few weeks. It's a real tricky track. Once you can figure out 1 and 2, it's pretty quick after that.
Okay, yeah, great win. Good pit strategy for you. You were able to gap them out like 7.5 second lead. You're out there quite a ways, and you were able to kind of set your pace and keep the tires under you, keep the car cool, and be able to get things rolling. It worked out well in your favor. What is there any other key takeaways that kind of helped you get through the course tonight, other than like maybe running maybe a zillion laps at Texas this week?
Honestly, just some conversations I've had with people over the last few weeks just kind of reminded me why I come out here and what I want to do. I just want to race. I want to win, and a few people will understand, but I am out of bubble gum.
Oh boy. Out of bubble gum. There's plenty of names in the hat, right?
Yeah, there's a few.
That's alright. We'll take them as they come. Dakota, you got anything for our race winner, Stephen Luttrell, here tonight in the 36?
Oh man, did you sue Andrew Teft? Are you gonna have a three-peat or? I'm sorry, I had to. We're gonna start calling you Tyler Reddick if you get a three-peat here.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm never the one to say that I'm gonna do it, and I'm not gonna. What's the word? You know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna be humble about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna let the car overload your mounts, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in there and say I'm gonna win everything and I'm gonna beat everybody and this and that. That's not what it's about. It's just I just had a good run tonight, and somebody will better me next time.
There's always
Fair
potential.
enough, man. So, let's go take a look at the schedule real quick. Let me go double check. Alright, so we got Daytona next week, Gateway, and then Chicagoland. How do you feel? I know you're decent at super speedways. I don't think I've seen you on a short track, so how's your short track racing?
Well, short track's where I come from, so that's my bread and butter. Gateway I'm fairly good at. Daytona is a crapshoot, so yeah, we'll just see how it goes from there.
Yeah, Daytona's
Fair
always
enough.
the nail in the coffin. It always catches everybody by surprise. So that'll be the random one. It may be you just kind of hang out and it may be it. I mean, you may luck into that spot and we may see you right back here again in victory lane.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, it could fall my way and it could go terribly wrong. You never know.
And if all else fails, blame Andrew Teftel.
Just blame the car. That's what I always do. Blame the crew chief.
There you go.
There you go. Are you just about like Sean Dunaway and say your cat's hopped up on your wheel? Alright.
That's what happened to him tonight.
Yeah, I'd have to use dogs, but yeah.
There you go.
Fair enough. But congratulations on your win, man. Is there anyone you want to thank or shout out for helping you get it done?
As always, I got to thank my mom and dad, my family, my wife, my kids, my grandson, everybody that watches and has fun and messages me. And if I don't get a chance tomorrow, I want to say happy birthday to my dad.
Yep, happy birthday to
There you
Steven's
go.
dad.
Is that William Luttrell?
Yeah, that is. Yep.
Alright, happy birthday to you, William Luttrell, just in case we don't catch you tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. And, man, we're going to let you get out here and celebrate your win.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Alright, have a good one.
See ya.
Alrighty, that being said, we had a great time here at Texas and multiple lead changes. One caution for 3 laps. And we'll take a look at all the rundowns and results here in just a second. Let's see what we got going on here. Alrighty, so Stephen Luttrell led 93 laps, picked up the race win. Steve Sizemore comes home second. Curtis Ecker comes home third. And Kirby Wayne Scott comes home fourth from starting position of P15. That will be your hard charger. Dennis Kane comes home fifth. Coming home sixth is Truth Hook. Seventh, Lee Campbell. Eighth is Kyle Hess. 9th, Troy Thomas. 10th is Sean Dunaway. 11th, Russ Martin Jr. 12th is Andrew Teff. 13th is Brandon Biddy. 14th, Barry Nelson. Coming home 15th, Terry Fennell. 16th is Hendricks Brownberg. 17th, Bill Hagan. James Foster Sr. rounds out the 18 cars finishing the race. Out of the race, loaded on the trailer and went home early. Jonathan Stidham, Christopher Pendle, and Brandon Sanfilippo round out the 21 cars that competed here at the mile and a half oval at Texas Motor Speedway. As Kurt Wayne Scott was your hard charger, 11 positions gained and most laps led. Stephen Luttrell, 93-year race winner out of the 105 total. We had 10 green flag lead changes with 7 different leaders. Fastest lap by Brandon Biddy with a 30.152 second lap for Biddy Family Racing. And of course, 1 caution for 3 total laps. Stephen Luttrell, your pole position to start the races off tonight. So, forward to the Races Elite Network. We want to thank all the fans for tuning in to the Races Elite Network, all the sponsors that put up prizes and help out with the Races Elite Network, as well Races Elite Series. For myself and Dakota LaRue, I will be back tomorrow night, Thursday, to bring you guys the Gen 4 action. We will see you tomorrow here on the Races Elite Network.